The aim of the UVC project is a new way to control diseases in the orchard. So we're interested in looking at how well UVC controls Botrytis, monilinear, which is brown rot, and Pseudomonas, which is bacterial canker. So UVC light is well known as a sterilising agent, and so what we're trying to do is actually test viability and the efficacy of UVC by deploying it through an orchard.
I'm Rusty Davidson. I'm the Optical Technologies Manager at 45 South here in Cromwell. We grow approximately 2,000 tonnes of cherries every year. We were approached by Chris from Agri Automation, who had already had the project in development for grapes. He thought we might be able to benefit to some of the technology here because the trees are grown in a two-dimensional situation. There's open space for the UVC light to penetrate all of the tree.
We started off up in the laboratory in Ruakura. Then we set up the field trial here at the Pisa Holdings block. So we had an untreated control, and then we had the 200 joules per metre squared and the 500 joules per metre squared.
Traditional methods such as chemical pesticides can lead to pathogen resistant. It can harm the environment and it can leave residue on the produce. Being able to introduce a technology that removes those downsides but also can destroy the bacteria and viruses is a huge bonus.
These units have to be run at night. The effectiveness of UVC is best when it's dark. The wine grape industry are doing a similar project. We'll share some learnings from that.
To check the efficacy against the pathogens in the field, we came out and we set up these poles. We attached a pathogen plate. So from the plate exposure in the field, it pretty much supported the results that we'd found in the lab. The Pseudomonas, there was 100% mortality. They were extremely sensitive to both the 200 and the 500 dose. The monilinear had dose-dependent response. The Botrytis, it was a lot less sensitive, but then at the 500 dose, there was a reduction.
So the project didn't come without its challenges. We found that environmental influences was a huge factor into stopping us from the deployment of the equipment at times. The sub-zero winters and springs of Central Otago meant that we had to slow the entire procedure down so that we're still able to meet the dosage targets of the project. I think that we'll have to improve UVC output and battery life for us to be able to trial this on a more commercial scale in the future. But these are challenges that we have to figure out and work on solutions for.
We wanted to check that the UVC wasn't having adverse effects on the pollen viability, which would affect the pollination. The pollen in the flowers, either dehisced or underhisced, there was no effect on the viability at any of the rates, even right up to 1,000.
We've done one full season of UVC deployment and been monitoring the performance of the UVC in the orchard against these diseases. So next season we'll be looking at doing another round of UVC treatment. You can't just test it for 1 year, you need to test it over a couple of seasons to make sure that you're accounting for different conditions during that particular season as well.